Have you ever felt a sudden chill on a dark, foggy night? A feeling that you're being watched, or maybe followed? What if I told you that feeling might be more than just your imagination? Tonight, we're riding into the heart of one of America's most terrifying legends. A story that has haunted generations and still sends shivers down the spine. We're talking about the relentless, the unstoppable, the Headless Horseman. The story begins in the quiet, misty valleys of early America, in a place called Sleepy Hollow. It's a town steeped in strange tales and ghostly whispers. But none are as famous or as feared as the legend of the Phantom Rider. Imagine this. You're walking home on a lonely road. The moon is your only light, and suddenly you hear it. Not the sound of hooves on dirt, but a chilling, unnatural silence. Then, from the shadows, a figure emerges. A tall, imposing horseman, dressed in the uniform of a soldier from a long-forgotten war, astride a powerful black steed. But something is horribly wrong. Where his head should be, there is only a ragged stump. In one hand, he holds the reins, and in the other, his own severed head, its eyes burning with an unholy fire. This is the Headless Horseman, the restless spirit of a Hessian soldier who lost his head to a cannonball during the Revolutionary War. They say his body was buried in the old churchyard, but his spirit was never at rest. Every night he rises from his grave, driven by a furious, eternal quest to find his missing head. He gallops through the darkness, a spectre of war and death, a nightmare brought to life. And his horse is just as terrifying as he is, a monstrous black beast, powerful and spectral. Witnesses claim it gallops at impossible speeds, its hooves making no sound at all. It moves like a shadow, silent and deadly, carrying its ghastly rider on his nightly hunt. The horseman himself is a force of pure terror. Sometimes he wields a sword, sometimes a battle-axe, but most famously, he's been known to carry a flaming pumpkin, a jack-o'-lantern, which he hurls at anyone who dares to cross his path. His appearances are a harbinger of doom, almost always happening late at night, especially when the fog rolls in thick from the Hudson River, or when a full moon hangs low in the sky. To see him is to become his target. The stories are all the same. Once he sets his sights on you, the chase begins. A relentless, terrifying pursuit that can last for miles. You can run, you can hide, but his silent gallop is always right behind you, getting closer. Proza, the sheer panic of being hunted by something that isn't alive, something that can't be reasoned with, is the stuff of true horror. Is there any escape? Some versions of the legend offer a sliver of hope. They say the horseman is bound by some ancient curse and cannot cross running water. A bridge, particularly the one leading to the old church, is your only sanctuary. If you can make it across the bridge, you might be safe. The horseman will rear up in fury, unable to follow, and vanish back into the night. But this is a desperate gamble. One slip, one moment of hesitation, and you're lost. The most famous encounter is that of Ichabod Crane, the lanky, superstitious schoolmaster of Sleepy Hollow. After a party one night, he found himself on a lonely road, stalked by the silent horseman. The terrifying chase ended at the bridge. Ichabod spurred his horse, Gunpowder, with all his might, desperate to reach the other side. He made it, and for a fleeting second, he thought he was safe. He turned back, only to see the horseman rise in his stirrups and hurl his severed head directly at him. The next morning, all that was found was Ichabod's hat, his horse wandering nearby, and beside them, a shattered pumpkin. Ichabod Crane was never seen again. So what happened to him? Was he struck down and carried off by the spectral rider? Or did the terrifying sight simply scare him out of his wits, causing him to flee Sleepy Hollow forever, leaving everything behind? The legend leaves it up to us to decide, which only adds to its chilling power. Over the centuries, the Headless Horseman has become more than just a local ghost story. He is an icon of horror, a symbol of relentless dread. He represents the unshakable past, the violence of war that refuses to be buried. He cannot be fought, he cannot be killed. He is immortal, unstoppable. You can't outrun death, and you can't outrun the Headless Horseman. He is a permanent fixture in the landscape of our darkest fears. From Washington Irving's classic tale to countless movies, TV shows, and books, the image of the galloping, headless phantom has been burned into our collective imagination. He's not just a monster. He's a piece of American folklore, a legend that has shaped horror culture for over 200 years. He reminds us that some stories are too scary to be forgotten, and some ghosts are too angry to ever find peace. So, the next time you find yourself on a dark country road, listen closely. If the night grows too quiet and a cold dread settles over you, don't look back. Just run. Run for the nearest bridge and pray you can make it across. Because the Headless Horseman might just be riding tonight, and he's still looking for a head. Thanks for joining me on this terrifying ride into the legend of Sleepy Hollow. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, bow so you don't miss our next dive into the world of the strange and unexplained. Stay safe out there and try not to lose your head.